I love it.
Oh man. So we are watching a replay of some live stream from last night's riots and protests.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about tonight. So
there's a lot to talk about this morning.
A lot to talk about. We'll just wait for Big Bro to jump in. He likes to make a grand entrance. You know, he slides right into the show. Like,
I apologize for being late, but I had to take a shower, and my kid was being a little ready.
It's called tardy for the party.
It's good to see you, John.
What's good, Shaqua? How are you? And I know your name is Shaqua. I just like saying Shaqua.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You have various nicknames for me.
Various?
So okay. Yes. You call me Shy. You call me Shaq.
Oh yeah. Shaqua.
Yeah. Only you, and I know it comes from a place of love, so I love it. So it's good. I'm good. The both are good. We're all good.
I'm glad you realized that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So I hope everyone is doing okay. Everyone is weathering the storm. John, are your days melting together like ours? Like
Oh yeah. It's like one big, it's like that what was that movie Groundhog's Day when it's just like all the same?
Yes. I do feel like Bill Murray. Yes. I do.
It does. It feels, it's weird because, we had the 3-day weekend with Memorial Weekend, right? And it was like, enjoy the 3-day weekend. It's like, it's been a 16-week.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing differently?
Yeah.
What are you?
Right.
Oh, man.
You cleaned your grill. You did clean the grill. I saw you clean the grill.
I clean the grill often. I just showed it one time.
Oh, okay. Well, I found that to be interesting. It was the closest thing I was getting to barbecue, being in the city with no backyard. So I appreciated it.
In the spirit of barbecues, I said, let me just turn that hose on and show people what it's like to clean your grill.
Nah, but you've barbecued in your backyard, right, Chad?
I grill winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah,
even in the rain.
Yeah, it's getting different. I think our experience is going to be a little bit different than Shaqua, though. Shaqua, you live in the 5 boroughs, and de Blasio's an idiot. So
yes,
there's shit going on in the 5 boroughs. It just doesn't make sense. And I when I look at those conferences he does, it's getting kind of evident that he's sort of the phrase like throwing bad money after bad money. Like you make a bad decision, and so you tend to make more dumb decisions to make up for the fact that you made an initial dumb decision.
or the fact that you really have no idea what you're doing, and you constantly come from this place of a very progressive, liberal perspective when it comes to us being, safe here in New York City. Now with this George Floyd situation, like there are people who are really hurting. There are people who have lost their jobs. So people need to find a way to get back to work. You need to, if the governor is making sure that he has been able to sort of start a phase 1 and doing some reopenings, like you need to start doing a little bit of that here in New York City. Like we have complied. For the most part, people have been home.
Yeah.
So
like New York City has been. I mean, I've kind of have issues with that too. But people in the 5 boroughs have been, for the most part, they say, okay, we'll kind of like follow this lead here. We'll go along with this.
That's exactly what
it seems like. It seems like the government is not letting people figure this shit out for themselves. Like here in Nassau County, it seems like the Nassau County exec is sort of like saying, okay, there's some of this shit that you guys can figure out. So they're kind of like dropping things, like they're starting to allow people to come outside to run their businesses outside. Like I think there's a proposal to have like a certain amount of street traffic shut down so that businesses can move their businesses from their storefront to outside.
Yeah, so like even now, like even locally here in Harlem, where I reside, there has been this push in the last couple of weeks to make sure people are even filling out the census. So people aren't even doing that, right? Yeah. So people are complacent in their ignorance and in their now.
Oh, they're gonna get me if I fill that out, huh?
Yeah, or something like that. And now you're in a position where you want government assistance and government supports. But if they literally have no idea how many people have been here for the last 10 years, you're really at a disadvantage.
It's very interesting. You bring up the topic of the financial services and the unemployment, so to speak, which is gone rogue. Everyone went nuts, got unemployment, and people are like, shit. They pay me more to stay home. In different times, protests have always calmed down after 48 hours because people had to go to work Monday. Different here.
Good point.
Now everybody has to go back to work. They're getting this fire will burn for a couple of days. This is not going to go away so fast.
You're right.
Because nobody has to go anywhere. No one has to report to work. No one's going, no, I got to punch the clock. A few people. I'm not saying everyone.
Right. And no one has nothing to lose. No one has nothing to lose. Yeah. Our mayor has put a hold on evictions. There's no sort of court proceedings happening. Mm-hmm. So everything where you think that you could get a little justice or something, all those things have halted here in New York City. So literally, it can be the purge. That is what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I said that yesterday. A friend of mine said that, we were watching this last night, and it was like, oh shit, it looked like the purge. I mean, look at this. This city's fucking burning. I mean, and you know what? Unfortunately, everyone says the same thing. Everyone says the same thing that says, why do people burn their own shit? Why do they burn? Because they burn what's close to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. They ain't going too far.
Yeah. And
because they don't have the resources and money to go too far.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's this thing called I have to get back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all the people. Well, we were watching this last night, and over the few nights we've been watching these. Which, by the way, I'm enjoying the free journalism where people are out with their cameras, reporting it live, and if they're doing it in a constructive way, not just to be out. Woo! Look at me! I'm in the street.
Right.
You know, there are people that are grassrooted and on the ground saying, hey, we're out here. We're we're trying to give you the real, what it looks like out here on the foreground. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate
absolutely. All which is also just as interesting because we've seen police arrest journalists. We've seen police open fire on journalists.
Yeah, it is open fire, and it's I mean, I can't imagine. I literally believe that Donald Trump is after Don Lemon. He's after Lemon. He's just like, he hates this guy.
Yeah. So, like, okay, so you have no problem tearing up a police car, but you're gonna do it with a fucking mask on? What? I don't get that.
Well, no, but there's an interesting angle to that because when again through these live streams, which I really love. There was, like Shock G just said, there was someone caught, a provocateur, which is someone who's proposing to be a rioter, but he's really with the police, you know what I mean? And he broke the window himself to create a little chaos.
And that was really early. That was really early in the.
That was the beginning.
That's when at the time you could say it was like just legitimate protest. People legitimately protesting.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like this is one of the events that kind of like spewed it into a riot. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what happened.
I also think that it's our government that sort of sets the pace and the tone for the citizens. So because we have a president who seems to creating conflict in these particular areas. And because locally here, we have a mayor who seems to be very sympathetic to these issues and not really respect his police, the citizens feel empowered because they feel like they have the support of the local government by having our mayor constantly says and be critical of the police like he always is. So it's because people are like, oh, well, our mayor has our back as citizens. F the police, we're going to go ahead and be disrespectful. And and he is part of the problem. That sort of thinking is part of the problem.
You know what? I hear your point, and I don't know of anyone that says, "Oh, I'm invigorated by De Blasio's speech, and I'm going to go act rambunctious." I mean, I know a bunch of rambunctious people. I don't know of anyone that has that energy from De Blasio. You have that because that's you, and the cover of you hide under the cover of night. You know what I'm saying? And you run
Mhm.
when they make noise, you make more noise. And like, these provocateurs, the guy that broke the window, starts the rally and everyone, woo, that's the battery. Someone leads the charge. So
right, but Chad, if you knew that you had that sort of thinking, and you're a rambunctious individual, you are going to think twice if you believe that you're going to be shot, arrested, or the police are going to be aggressive with you when you walk outside, because there's a zero tolerance for that sort of misbehavior in the streets. If you know that the police have been given a directive to be more compassionate and allow people to express themselves, and leave a little more leadway before arresting people or trying to communicate with people before you're doing that, that is a battery in your back in that sense, because you're like, the chances of me getting arrested are slimmer than if I had someone in power that is giving a directive to arrest everyone.
Yeah, I speak from a street guy that is out and about, and good luck telling the cop, oh, but de Blasio says we can do this. Good luck telling the cop that. That's what I'm saying, is like the fear of police, and now only because the empowerment comes from this thumb thugging, this internet species, because now people are seeing things for themselves, and unfortunately Google is the human calculator, right? You can Google anything you want and get the answer, or think you get the answer, and people think they are more knowledgeable. John, what I want to tell you is, well, how many books have you read that have information that you've learned? And people say, well, I don't need to read the whole book, I can Google the thing, I can read the clip notes. So people have cheated themselves on educating themselves on social economics, all these little nuances here. Like if you ask any, people, they ask people here in the streets, and they say, what do you hear? What do you want? What are you fighting for? I'm just angry. And I want to smash something. And I want to go home, and I want to get my unemployment check tomorrow, and I want to go buy Jordans when they come out on Tuesday.
That's another issue. I mean, as this is so, it gets so convoluted, because if it makes no sense to go destroy the Target if when you need something you're going to head over to Walmart. So you kind of it's like one of those things. Okay, if you think this thing needs to burn, all right, I think that's dumb, but don't burn it and then go patron it again and build it back up.
Yeah, well, look, watch this. They burnt down the precinct, right? So burn down.
That was very powerful to see.
Yeah.
So allegedly, I'll see you this week.
We'll allegedly get together, and I have to wear my mask. My wife pretty much put her foot down. She said, "Look, if you do this, you're wearing your fucking mask." I've been very, very belligerent about wearing a mask.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not wearing a goddamn mask. When I go out here in Nassau County, I don't wear my mask unless I'm like CVS, like they want you to wear a mask. So I'll put a mask on. But for the most part, I don't wear a mask.
Right. If the store has it and says you can't come in without it, I have one in my pocket and I put it on.
Yes, I do. But now in New York, you got to like walk around with it on. So that's
you do. Here in New York City, you have to walk around with it. Yeah.
All right, party people. I think we're going to call this one a wrap. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This has been awesome getting the cousin on the line here.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Very in-depth conversation. These social issues will not go away, so we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about next time. Hopefully, as we know, this will not be the last George Floyd or Eric Gardner or Breonna Taylor or whoever. But if we can make someone's day just a little bit brighter, we'll try. Okay?
We'll do that.
Yeah, so this is podcast episode 99.9.
We ain't got no more.
We got to do 100. All right, party people, let's go out there, have a blessed week, but more important, be a blessing to someone else.
Well, fuck them.
Yes.
Peace.